So lately, I've had this feeling, that man, it's hard to explain. You know when you just, you can't put your finger on it, but you have this feeling that there's something wrong in the neighborhood, and you're just going about your day, and it's just something weird, and it don't look good, and I don't know what to do about it. I mean, in a case like this, who are you going to call? So I'm sure that none of you who actually watch this channel are going to be surprised to find out that I was a massive Ghostbusters fan. I am a massive Ghostbusters fan. I am one of those kind of Ghostbusters fans who adored even the second movie. I know that there's a lot of Ghostbusters fans who just, obviously the first one was a classic, but the second one they don't like. I loved both of them. Now, obviously, the second one is not quite as good as the first one. That first one, it was just that perfect storm of just random creativity combined with these amazing comedic actors who just, each one just took their role and just knocked it out of the park. From top to bottom, even the people with the smaller roles. I mean, Rick Moranis in that movie is just in top form. Annie Potts in that movie is just amazing. And so, it's one of those times where all cylinders are firing and it's just perfect. And the second one didn't quite have that just, impromptu magic that the first one did. But Peter MacNicol coming in and him too just rising to the occasion, knocking out of the park. Every single time I watch that movie and him pointing to, the painting, he's Vigo, cracks me up every single time. So I've been wanting a Ghostbusters 3 forever. I don't think I've gone a year of my life since the second one came out that I have not, at some point during the year, longed for that Ghostbusters 3. And lately, in the last few years, when they've been really toying with the ideas and going back and forth on it, I've been very excited. Now, when Harold Ramis died, I was like, okay, no, I'm out. I do not want a direct Ghostbusters sequel without Egon. It would do nothing for me. And so when they announced that they were going to kind of do a reboot with a new cast, I wasn't excited, but I wasn't groaning right away. I was like, okay, let's see how this plays out. All right, let's see how this goes. And then when they announced that it was an all-female cast, and they announced it in such a way that it was clear that we're only doing this for political correctness, like really coming out, and that's the point. It's not, hey, look at these great people we have involved. It's like, hey, look, they're all women. Ah! I was like, okay, that's how this movie's going to go. When things are going so badly for you that the best thing you can say about the movie is that there's a bunch of women in it, you probably need to look at the other elements of the film and see what you can do about them. But during all of this, I was still going in with a kind of wait-and-see attitude. The pictures were coming out. I thought they looked stupid, but let's be honest. When Ghostbusters 1 came out and we saw the outfits, we were like, what in the world is this? So Still taking a wait-and-see attitude. So the trailer comes out yesterday, and honestly, I'm kind of after Star Wars, Batman versus Superman, X-Men, Suicide Squad, all these. I'm honestly getting a little sick of trailer hype, and I've really been pulling back on that, and just like, okay, I really don't need to see this many trailers. I do not need to see every Batman and Superman thing that comes out. I'm gonna watch the movie, so let's just leave it at that. But I mainly watched this one because some people in my Facebook feed were talking about how bad it was, and so I'm like, okay, let me take a look. Alright, so my basic reaction to the trailer is that it seems like they were trying to pull so hard on the nostalgia heartstrings of us Ghostbusters lovers that they intentionally crafted it to look really close to the original in plot. But the problem is it doesn't have the humor to it. It doesn't have the interest to it. It's just like, okay, we saw that joke 30 years ago and it was much funnier 30 years ago. It's not, it doesn't have the same punch anymore. And it almost seems at this point like the filmmakers weren't sure if they were doing a sequel or a remake, or honestly a really bad parody. And I would have much rather seen them go in a completely new direction with the plot, and not even have the hearse, not even have the fire station, not have any of that, but have the spirit of the original in a new plot, rather than what they did was to have a sequel that looks just way too much like the original, only not nearly as good. This is supposed to be a comedy, and my basic rules with comedy is that if you can't find enough funny stuff in your movie to fill a 3-minute trailer, then it's not a funny movie. And this trailer, unfortunately, didn't make me laugh once. And so I don't know if this is going to be something I watch yet or not, but it is definitely off of the watching in the theater list, and it's probably much more likely to be a red box or let's just skip it. And so we'll have to see kind of where the reviews go when it does get closer to coming out, and I guess I'll have to make my decision then.